Welcome to the Plant Trainers Podcast, where we're helping people improve their quality of life through nutrition and fitness. And now, your hosts, nutrition and wellness coaches, international speakers, Adam and Shoshana Chaim.
Hey, I'm Adam Chaim.
And I'm Shoshana Chaim, and we are Propelled by Plants.
Today we bring to you episode 476, Thyroid Health, with us.
In this episode of the Plant Trainers Podcast, we're talking about how maintaining a healthy lifestyle is important for supporting thyroid health. It's important, though, to consult with your healthcare professional and test and get advice, but many steps can be taken to protect your thyroid, especially if your imbalance runs in the family. And if you are already in that situation, there's many things that you could do on your own beyond what the doctors know about or treat with to help your condition as well. We've had lots of clients and we've seen lots of people in this holistic world, whether their thyroid problem is that it's running too high, running too low, whether it's autoimmune, there's definitely going to be things that you can take away from this episode.
I'm looking forward to learning from you because this is a topic that I am not super versed in, so this should be a good one.
Hey everyone, now it's more important than ever to stay close and connected to us as we're going to be making some changes here at Plant Trainers. So please head over to planttrainers.com and get our plant-based comfort foods recipe book for free. That's a $14.99 value just by signing up for our newsletter so that you can know what changes are, because we want to make sure that we stay in touch.
And now for a moment of gratitude.
Because we've pre-recorded and preset all of these summer episodes, we would like you to take a moment and think about what you're grateful for. Of course, we're always grateful for you.
Here we go.
All right, so we're going to be talking about thyroid today, and the thyroid gland is crucial. It helps to regulate various bodily functions by producing and releasing hormones, like our hormonal organs do. And the conditions that affect the thyroid are hypothyroidism, hyperthyroidism, Hashimotos, lots of different things going on. And at the end of the day, today, we're not going to be getting into a lot of detail about how the thyroid is regulating or what's really going on. I think the biggest thing is, what are the biggest factors that create this imbalance, and what are the symptoms, and how do we deal with the symptoms?
Who does it affect? Is it men or women or both, or how does that work?
Well, I was really surprised when I first came into the health world how many men thyroidism is really affecting. I thought it was more of a woman's disease, and I do see the numbers are much higher with women, but there are men who have thyroid issues as well. They're having thyroidectomies, they're having a lot of different symptoms, but really a lot of the issues that affect the thyroid, I find number one is stress. And that's why, we say always, you have to have a balanced lifestyle. You have to do a lot of things to reduce stress, meditate, don't spend a lot of time with the people who are stressing you out, those kind of things. But stress is big. And I work with a lot of my clients to help regulate the thyroid and keep it regulated even before we know that there is a thyroid issue, because once you start to go down that road, things start to really progress quickly. But inflammation is another big effect too. So people who have inflammation issues, right? Not just women. Genetics, iodine imbalance can play a part in it, but that's not always the part. Medications that people are taking can affect your thyroid. So it could be a side effect from other medications. Pituitary or other kinds of dysfunctions, environmental factors like exposure to radiations, toxins, pollutions. You might not even know that you've been exposed to some of these things, but you really
Sounds like a lot of the same things that contribute to all illnesses and disease are contributing to this one as well.
Exactly. And that's why over the years, although there are some differences, a lot of the bigger things that we're doing with clients are the same, because overall, to balance your body, you need those good parts of the healthy lifestyle. So what are some of the symptoms people are probably thinking? And you're going to find that there's an overlap with a lot of the other symptoms from other health issues as well. But fatigue, weight gain, maybe you have a goiter, swelling around the neck. There's a lot of different things that can affect you. And at the end of the day, usually the diagnosis is going to come from a blood test, right? The doctors are going to do tests. And you and I have said over the years how, we don't necessarily rely on doctors to do a lot of things, to treat us, to help us prevent other diseases, or to diagnose us. But getting diagnosed from a medical doctor is pretty important, but then taking matters into your own hands is probably going to be the next step that you're going to want to do.
So the solution to all this is the same as every other disease. We just eat well and exercise and sleep and manage stress, but there's got to be some differences.
There are some differences. So you want to eat a balanced diet, a balanced plant-based diet, ideally, right? You want to include a lot of nutrient-rich foods like vegetables, whole grains, beans, healthy fats, like coming from avocado, whole foods. And you want to sometimes you'll want to focus on foods that are rich in iodine. So selenium and zinc are important. So things like almonds can be really good. So looking up the foods and going to those foods that are going to help regulate those iodine levels, but you might need to supplement with it as well. And again, we're not diagnosing you, we're not telling you what to do. This is information only, but a lot of people will take iodine because it's essential for the hormone production. But if you take too much of it, it could have some negative effects too on the thyroid function. So maybe like what Dr. Greger recommends is having the seaweed every week, right? Having seaweed a couple of times a week, iodized salt. You don't want to do fish because there's so many reasons why you don't want to do fish, but fish would contain iodine, so your doctor might recommend it, but I would definitely think twice on that if
there are
you're
other
not 100%.
Ways to get it, right? There's other ways.
Yeah, exactly. There's other ways to get it, and I've even done it before where I've bought iodine at the health food store and I kind of put it on my skin, under my arm, and just let it absorb, and you absorb what you need.
As you point to your wrist.
As I point to my wrist, because everybody can see that now. So yeah, you want to make sure that you're balanced, but you don't want to get too much of it. And also by limiting processed foods is really important too, because you're asking the body to work harder to really filter out all these bad things that you're eating, and instead of using your healing and all of that to counteract the negative things that you're putting into your body, you want your healing to help.
I mean, we're trying to reduce inflammation, so eating foods that cause inflammation is really something to pay attention to, and processed foods is one of those things that increase inflammation. And of course, we need to exercise regularly, so engaging in a regular physical activity to support your overall health, your metabolism, and weight management is always a good idea. Try to get into some cardiovascular exercises, some strength training, and flexibility is always important as we get older. But of course, consult with your healthcare provider before starting any new exercise program if you haven't done this before.
We're just going to take a little break here because I want to share with you that growth is something that happens for everyone and every business. And we've been going through a lot of personal and professional growth here at Plant Trainers, and we want to stay connected with you. That's why we're giving away our plant-based comfort food ebook that's worth $14.99 for free at our website at planttrainers.com, or by clicking the link in the show notes. Click on that, get on our newsletter, because we're going to be making some serious changes and you need to be aware of what's going on. We look forward to connecting with you there. And now back to the show.
You also want to manage your stress, like I talked about before. So stress can have a huge impact on thyroid health. So you want to do great stress management techniques like meditation, deep breathing, yoga, anything that kind of helps you calm. You want to stay away from those toxic people in your life. Maybe there's hobbies that you enjoy, like art or origami or painting or anything that really helps you unwind, but you don't want that to be smoking or drinking, of course.
And of course, getting good sleep at night is always important. The 7 to 9 hour rule, keeping it in fact, and watch out for the blue light right before going to bed.
And avoid as many toxins as possible. Like I said before, if you're exposed to so many toxic things, so much poison, then your body needs to work harder to get all of that out, and your body's not working on the problems that you've already had. So you want to minimize the exposure to heavy metals and pesticides, other pollutants, maybe eat more organic if you can, so that your food is a little bit cleaner. And what we love doing is using not necessarily organic, but non-toxic personal care cleaning products. And there's a couple that I make on my own, just takes like no seconds. If it's easy, I'll make it on my own, like hand pump soap and things like that. So try to reduce as many toxins as possible. And you really do want to make sure that you get some regular thyroid checkups. Like I said, schedule the appointments with your doctor. If your doctor says it's an emergency and you have to go on medications, that's your choice to make. But if your doctor thinks that you have time and you can go ahead and try things on your own first, I would definitely take that choice. Definitely clean things up, clean up your diet, clean up all these other things that we've been talking about, and ask for another test in 3 to 4 months. Usually you won't see a quick difference in a couple of weeks, but in about 3 to 4 months, it really takes the body time to adjust, clean out a lot of the bad things in it, and really start to get that healing done. I have lots of clients, like I said, who have thyroid issues, and we start them on very specific protocols. And if they start too close to their first blood test, so maybe they're 3, 4, 5 weeks out, they normally don't see a difference. But once we get to that 3, 4, 5 month mark, we start to see that the doctors say, things are regulating, and maybe we don't need medication. Let's give you another 3 months and see what happens. Or we have people who are on medication who go back, and the doctor will say, oh, well, the thyroid's starting to move in the opposite direction now, because if you're taking medications, let's say to lower your thyroid, and your thyroid function's doing a lot better, it's really going to lower it below what it should be. So they start to see that things go off, or people start to get small little symptoms of a low thyroid. So they go back, and then the doctors are able to adjust their thyroid medication. And it's really important with anything that you're doing, especially cardiovascular issues, not to just go and stop your medications altogether, but to wean off of it. Make sure that your doctor knows about it as well.
Well, they should be doing that while consulting their doctor. They shouldn't just take themselves off their medication if they've already been on.
Exactly. And especially with those medications that your life is in danger without taking it, for sure. But the other thing that's great about people who really do start, we have a couple of things beyond diet and beyond what we're talking about that we do with our clients, and it doesn't matter what age they're at. Too. A lot of people say, oh, well, I'm at this age, it runs in my family. My friend Anna, I don't like to say people's age, but she's able to use her discount card at the pharmacy, although she doesn't really go to the pharmacy, and she was able to come off of her thyroid medication within 6 months and is very happy for it, because she doesn't want the side effects that come along with it, whether those side effects are now or in the future. She's the type of person that would rather just be off medications altogether. She went on it because she needed to, but coming off was definitely something that she was happy with. And I really do celebrate when people are able to take their own health into their own hands. We work together and
So if people are having challenges or struggles with their thyroid, what do you recommend they do?
So I definitely recommend that you listen to the podcast again. Make sure that you're doing all these things here. But if you've been doing all of these things and you're not getting the answers that you want, definitely give us an email at info@planttrainers.com or hit us up on Instagram. Let's do a 30-minute free consultation. I'll make sure that you're properly doing some of these other things that we talked about. If I think that you're a fit, I'll offer some of the ways that we've been working with other people. And then, of course, it's always your choice whether or not to go forward with that. But you don't have to necessarily be on these medications forever. So let's have a conversation around it, and you take your health into your own hands.
And if this doesn't impact you, but it might impact somebody else you know, feel free to share this episode with them. Tell them to go to planttrainers.com/476 to check out this podcast episode, or hit us up at planttrainers.com or email us at info@planttrainers.com so we can help you or your friends out. Thanks so much for listening and being with us on the Plant Trainers podcast. Can't wait till we see you again next week.
Have a good day.
Thank you all so much for listening to this edition of the Plant Trainers podcast. We want to make sure that you subscribe on iTunes, Google Play, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, or any other podcast podcasting platform.
We really appreciate the feedback we receive from you. Every time we get a 5-star rating or review on iTunes from one of our fans, it really helps other people find us just like you did.
Thanks so much to our patrons. To become a patron, visit us at patreon.com/planttrainers. Even supporting us with $1 really makes a difference in the quality of the show.
And don't forget to connect with us on Instagram and Twitter. Our handle is @PlantTrainers. Like Plant Trainers on Facebook, join our newsletter, and check out our website at planttrainers.com for awesome recipes, a list of our services, and of course, our latest podcast.
We encourage you to email your questions to info@planttrainers.com so that we can help you improve your quality of life through nutrition and fitness.
So we hope we've inspired you today. Join us again next time and have a healthy day. Or is that too corny?
It's a little cheesy.